Okay, so this is section 13.5, and it has to do with equations and lines, equations of lines. Okay, and right here we're going to start off. What is the equation of the line and slope intercept form? Okay, so basically, you're gonna have things that's going to be in y is equal to mx plus b form. Okay, so what you want to do is, and these equations, you want to be able to say, hey, what's the slope and what's your y-intercept? And so when it's in this form, you know what they are, because like I said before, you're staring at it. So you know the slope here is 2, and you know that the y-intercept is going to be 0, -4. Okay, now this makes it really easy to plot the line. Okay, now remember, m is the slope. That's the rise over the line. This is a constant, but you could make it a fraction at like 2/1. Okay, any number can be a fraction. You just put it over 1. And what that means is for every unit you move to the right, you're going to go up 2 units. So what this does really is that right there gives you a place to start. So I'm going to go down to -4, and I'm going to put me as a point. Okay, now I'm going to use the slope to plot another point. So I'm going to go over 1, and then I'm going to go up 2. So right here. Now I have 2 points, and I'll just connect the dots. All right, and you're done. So for number 2 here, you know the slope is -1/2. There's no b here, so it's like +0. So you know that the y-intercept is going to be 0. Right? So it's 0, 0. It's going through the origin. Okay, so start there. Now use the slope to plot another point. So I'm going to go over 2 and down 1 because it's a negative slope. Okay, and then play connect the dots. Okay. And you're done. Okay, that was a weird angle to try to graph that. So, like I said, if you know what the slope is and you know what the y-intercept is, you can graph these things really, really quick. Okay, so let's you hear noises and stuff like that. I have my old dog with me, and he's like 15, and he is asleep, and he's making little woofy noises and kicking his feet like he's chasing something. So if you hear something, that's what it's going to be. Okay, so all right. So remember the last one we had something similar to this. We had x is equal to 10y. Now we want y is equal to, something x plus something. All right. So I'm going to get y by itself. All right. If you want to, you can turn it around and make it 3/4 y is equal to x. And you have like the y on the right side or on the left side. A lot of people like doing that. Okay. The way that I'm going to do this is, and you can do this a couple of different ways. Okay. One way is just to get y by itself, just multiply the fraction by the reciprocal. Remember, when you do that, it just makes it 1. But I have to do that same thing over here. So I'm going to say 4/3 times x. Okay. So that's going to be my equation. All right. So you know that the y-intercept here is going to be 0. So that gets you a place to start. And then I'm going to go over 3, and I'm going to go up 4. Put me a point there, and then you're done. Okay. Now, if you don't like doing it that way, remember you can always like take this thing and say, I'll multiply by 3. I'll multiply 3/4 by 4. That's going to cancel that, but I have to do that same thing over here. So I'll get 4x is equal to 3y, and then divide by 3 and divide by 3. And you'll get 4 x over 3 is equal to y. If you turn it around, you get the y is equal to 4/3 x. Okay, either way, it's going to work. It's just up to how you think about it. All right, so number 4, if you want to try it, just pause the video, try it, plot the line, and if it comes out, great. If it doesn't, well, just see where you went wrong, okay? Or got off track, I guess it's a better way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. 3y is equal to negative 2x minus 3. So let's divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. Okay, and when I do that, it's going to give me y is equal to negative 2/3 x minus 1. All right, so I know my slope here is negative 2/3, and I know my y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 1. All right, so let's start with a y-intercept. That's that point right here. So let's go over 3. Okay, so to 3, and then let's go down 2. Okay, so that's going to put me right about here. Okay, now I've got those 2 points. Now let's just connect the dots. Okay, and there's your line. Okay, normally I'd use a straight head, but I didn't do that. Right? And it's kind of hard to do it on this tablet anyways. So sorry for my line being so crooked, but it is what it is. But that's how you want to do it. Okay, and you can graph these things pretty quickly that way. Now with this one, what they want you to do is we're going to do the reverse. Okay, so they give us the line, they want to know what the equation is. So let's figure that out. Well, the first thing we know is, hey, your b is equal to 3. Okay, because remember, if you know what the slope is and you know what the y-intercept is, you can do anything they ask you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick another point. Well, I can pick this point and I can say, hey, how many do I need to go over and how many need to go up from this point here to this point here? You can say, well, I'm going to go over 1 and then I'm going to go up 2. So the slope is over 1 up 2. So basically my slope is 2. So if I'm going to write the equation for this, y is equal to mx plus b. I'm just going to plug in what I got. So m is 2x plus 3. Okay, there's your line. You're done. Okay. So that's not so bad. Let's open the next one. Okay. Oh, that's 2. Let's go to 3. Okay. And there. So here's the thing. All right. This is a vertical line. Now, this is one of those ones that I told you need to memorize. So a vertical line, the slope is undefined, but it's really, remember, where's it crossing the x-axis? Right there, okay, at -3. So x is equal to -3, okay? So really, when you're thinking about vertical lines, the equation is just going to be the x-intercept, whatever it is. And it's the same thing for horizontal lines. You think, okay, where's this line crossing the y-axis? Right there at 3. So y is equal to 3. Okay, you're done. That's it. Ain't nothing to it. Okay, but you do have to remember which one's which and recognize that, hey, I'm looking at horizontal lines or vertical lines or whatever. All right. So if you want to take a shot at this one, pause the video, take a shot at it, then come back and see if I do it right. So I know that B there is 4. Okay. And I'm going to use that point and I'm going to use this point because I know what those are. Okay. So you could use this point and the one all the way down here in the corner. The only difference is you would have to reduce it down. So what I'm going to do is I need to go over 4. So go over 4 and then you go down 2, 4, 6. So -6. That's going to give you -3 halves. So now you put it together. Y is equal to, the slope is -3 halves x plus 4. And you're done. Okay, that's not so bad. So that's pretty easy. So let's do the last page. Okay. So the last page here, what we do is they're giving us, we're doing the same thing, but instead of using a graph to figure out what the slope is and the y-intercept, all that other kind of stuff, they're writing stuff down for us, okay? But they're giving us, remember, they're giving us the slope here, okay? And since x is 0, you know that this is b, okay? So remember, if this ain't 0, then the y coordinate is b. So, but they give us the y-intercept here. So all we got to do is say y is equal to, what's our slope? -2/3. And then we put x plus 6. And we're done. Okay. So where this one, they gave us the slope and a point. The next one down here, they gave us 2 points. Okay. Now we know that one of them, okay, we know that that's b. Okay. So b is equal to -1. Okay. But we got to figure out what the slope is. But they're giving us 2 points. So we know that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're just going to plug stuff in. So we're going to get -1 minus -3 over 0 minus 2. And that's going to be addition right there. So -1 plus 3 is going to be 2 over -2, which is going to give us -1. Okay, great. So now we know everything. So we get y is equal to -x, or you can put -1x if you want to. All right, minus 1. Okay, so your slope here is -1, your b is -1, and you're done. Okay. So for the next one here, okay, what do they tell us? Well, they tell us that when they want us to write the equation in slope-intercept form if possible. And they tell us that the slope is undefined. What do you know about slopes that are undefined? Hey, you know it's a vertical line. So vertical lines are going to be x is equal to something. Okay. Now remember, this, they're giving us a point. This is x and this is y. All right. So my equation here is going to be x is equal to -1/2. And this is how this works. Okay. Let's say here are your axes. Okay. And -1/2, let's say that's like right here. Okay. And let's say we'll put 5 here. So the point that we're looking at is right there. You know it's a vertical line. So this vertical line is going to do something like that. Okay. So it doesn't matter where I'm at on this vertical line. X is always going to be -1/2. Only y is going to change. Okay. So that's why we put it like this and say, hey, the equation is x is equal to -1/2. All right. Same thing with the next one here. It says write the equation of the line slope-intercept form with the slope of 0. What do you know about lines with the slope of 0? They're horizontal. And it's the same idea. Okay. If you go over and you plot 3, 5, you go over 3, and then you go up 5. You get that point right there. You know this is a horizontal line, so it's doing something like that. It doesn't matter where I'm at on this line, okay? I know y is always going to be 5, okay? So we just say y is equal to 5. So when they're asking you about these types of things, they're giving you an undefined slope, you just got to look and say, hey, what's the x coordinate? And say x is equal to -1/2. For a horizontal line, you do the same thing. You look at the ordered pair that they give you, and you say, hey, what's the y? And you say y is equal to 5. You're finished. Okay. So for your next thing here, it says write the equation of the line parallel to the x-axis through the point -5. Now, this is a little tricky, okay, but not that big a deal. Here is your graph here, okay, and here's your x-axis, here's your y, okay. The line parallel to the x-axis, well, the x-axis is a horizontal line. So the line that they're talking about that's going through this point is a horizontal line, okay. So if you were to plot negative 3, 5, like you go over 3 and you go up 5, let's say it's right there, you put a line right through it, okay, just like we did before, we just say, hey, what's the y coordinate there? So y is equal to 5, okay? It says write the equation of the line through 7, 0, and 0, negative 8, okay? Again, they don't give us the slope, but we can figure it out because they give us 2 points, okay? So x1, y1, x2, y2, you plug them in, you say m is equal to negative 8 minus 0 over 0 minus 7. It's going to give us negative 8 over negative 7, which is going to give us positive 8/7. Remember, negative divided by negative is positive, okay? So you know what the slope is. We also know what b is because they give it to us. So that's your b. So now you just put it together. 8/7 x minus 8. Okay. You're done. All right. Let me just do one thing. I should have done it earlier. Remember, we're saying plus what is b? It's negative 8. Okay. That right there is going to make it 8/7 x minus 8. Okay. Just in case you're a little bit confused about it. Right. And that's the name of that too. So when you're doing these equation things, hey, figure out what the slope is, figure out what the y-intercept is, and then you can pretty much answer anything that they ask.